guys know what a doppio is? You ever go into a coffee shop and you say, give me a doppio? Have you ever heard anybody else do that? It's a fun name. Do you ever say it? There's a few fun names. Tiramisu, just for example. Tiramisu is the worst dessert that is sold in any restaurant anywhere. But every now and then you'll find yourself ordering it because it's a beautiful name. Not to mention it's a beautiful dessert. It's the only thing you don't want to do is put it into your mouth. A doppio is similar. So a doppio, to my understanding, just means two in Italian. So it's 2 shots of espresso. Now, oddly, the coffee shop right down below was not familiar with the term doppio. So they put 2 shots into a cup of coffee with a little cream, and it's absolutely disgusting. Now, a doppio in and of itself is disgusting. But the reason you don't want it in a cup of coffee is at least you can get it down. If you're after the caffeine, you can at least with a little cream, you can just smash it in one gulp. Now, because they didn't know what it was, I have to drink an entire disgusting cup of coffee with 2 shots. And it brings me to my next point. What is my point? Glad that you asked. I was backstage at Real American Freestyle, and I'm having myself a cup of coffee. And I leave to go out to the set. And as I'm going out to the set, I come across Tito. Tito is just entering the building. I'm going the opposite way, and I hear somebody say his name. I hear somebody say, Tito. And I got excited. Oh, Tito's here. Oh, I'm new at Real American Freestyle. They've never held an event. I don't know a lot of people. Tito's coming in. I was excited when I heard his name. So I said, Tito, hello. And I have my hand out. And I said, Tito, hello again with my hand out. And he refuses to shake my hand. Now, that is in this life my thing. That's the one, if you ever want to insult me or upset me, that is my thing. So he does this, and there's not a lot of people around, but there are people around. I'm being guided to set. He's being guided to the back. So even if it's just his guy and my guy, there's still people around. And it's a very rude thing to do. And I could feel my blood boil in that moment. I mean, right, you guys have your thing, this is my thing. So later in the night, Tito decides he wants to call me out. Now, I don't really know what that means. And when I get word that Tito wants to call me out, we're live. The show is going. I'm in my commentary booth. I've got my headset on. And I'm told Tito wants to call you out. And I don't know what it means. Like, he's sitting over there. He's having a great time. He's a big wrestling fan. I could tell that Tito was happy and having fun. And I didn't want to put a damper on his evening. Though I must tell you, when he refused my handshake, I'm also not looking to do anything nice to Tito. That was my niceness. My niceness is, you're new here, you're a guest, I work here. I want you to feel welcome, and I went out of my way to say hello. I really felt angry. So I find out he wants to call me out. I don't get it. Like, is he over in his spot and they take him a microphone and I stay here? Do I have anything to do with it? Do I respond after the call? I just don't know what it means. So at some point I'm doing an interview, and as I'm headed back, we're up on the stage, the wrestling mat. I'm walking off of that, and Tito's coming up. So I realize, okay, put 2 and 2 together. And he had my blood boiling again. And I could even feel like my legs shaking. I'm having a very difficult time. But Tito broke some rules. And the biggest thing is when Tito came up and I'm coming down, there's no one in between us. And you've probably never in your life seen a face-off with 2 fighters in boxing and MMA, any way you want to do it, you've probably in your life never seen two fighters face off, particularly going to do a promo with each other, and not have a person there to separate them in case they need separating. So when he comes up and I say that he broke some rules, he touched me. He touched me a number of times. And he didn't go too far. I'm just sharing with you, at this time, I don't know how far he's willing to go, and I'm pretty upset about the handshake thing. So, when he's doing the promo, he kept putting me over. Like as he's challenging me and as he's upset and as he's putting a finger in my chest, he compliments me. I mean, he says, hey, you're here announcing. And then he takes a beat to say, and you're really good at it. You're a really good announcer. But I want to face you. And so I'm very conflicted. I'm very conflicted because he didn't have to say you're a really good announcer. It was actually a very nice thing for him to say. And then he goes to us crossing paths. And I had beat Tito in a wrestling match, and he had beat me in an MMA match. Now, I feel that the MMA match trumps the wrestling match. I feel that professional MMA trumps college wrestling. But when Tito tells the story, he goes, so we're 1-1. Which again, even in my own mind, he just elevated me. I don't quite see our 1-1 as equal. I feel that he has an edge, but he just gave it back to me. So now I'm confused. Now I'm a little bit confused. He's breaking the rule. He's touching me. I'm already hot. And he's putting me over while challenging me. It was a very interesting thing. And then he stops his promo at one point. He stops his promo, like he loses his train of thought, and he just goes, man, I hate you so much. Could you say anything more cruel to a guy? Like, is there a meaner thing that you could say to a guy? He literally stops what he does. I know Tito for 30 years. He stops what he's doing. He goes, man, I just hate you so much. It was such a terrible thing to say. Now, where this all stems from, by the way, is when I was getting ready to fight Tito, he was talking about, I'm the world champion and I'm in the Hall of Fame and I'm one of the greatest to ever do it. All true. He's talking about himself. That's all true. And he goes, and all you've done is get here because of your mouth. So now it comes to me. And I said, Tito, the only one that I've ever seen make money with their mouth is your ex-wife. And that's a very, very nasty thing to say. But I must tell you, I feel that that's between me and her. And she was okay with it. So Tito later wants an apology. Hey, you need to apologize for that. And one of his big hang-ups wasn't necessarily the insult. One of his hang-ups is that I said that she was his wife. And she wasn't. And I've never known, and I still don't know to right now. Was it the line? Was it a defense of her? Or was it that I miscategorized her and called her wife? I don't actually know. But it really upset him. And another part where I struggle with that, like when he wanted an apology and I didn't give it to him, he's also quick to point out that he grabbed me backstage one time and told me, hey, you're doing a great job with your interviews. You're changing this game. Do not stop. Do not stop talking. And he's proud that he gave me that advice. And I must tell you, at the time he gave me the advice, I appreciated it. I admired Tito. This is before he hates me. So, but he'll bring both up, and he brought both up in this promo. He says, I grabbed you backstage. I'm the one that told you keep running your mouth. And then he brings up a time that I ran my mouth, and he's furious to the point that he hates me. It's like, Tito, do you understand how these don't go together? You're taking credit and you're admitting that you encouraged me to keep talking, but in your very next sentence, you're talking how angry you are at something I said. They just don't go together. But while he was challenging me, while he refuses my handshake, while we're face to face, while he's calling me out, he continued to put me over. He continued. Like, he went back to the announcing thing a couple of times, and he goes, "You're good. You are a good announcer." Well, he didn't have to say that. He could have said, "I don't know how you got a job announcing. They should be putting me in that spot. You don't even know half the things you're saying." I mean, right, he could have done that, but he didn't. He built me up. He built me up by challenging me. And I'm a little confused. Does Tito hate me? Or are we secretly friends?